Yo, YouTube, what is up? This is your girl Michelle, who's coming up to another live broadcast of Warframe and the Paracesis. So as you know, um, it costs a lot of ducats to, first off, costs about 1,000 ducats to build. Very good weapon at level 40. It gets, well, at level 30 it gets good, but it gets better at level 40 once you cap it out. So, without that being said, it's early in the morning. My throat's kind of, I'm a little bit scratchy on my throat a little bit. I guess apparently there's some more people getting sick out there in the world. And, so the whole truth of the matter is, about the Paracesis, a good weapon. Most people don't like it because it's slow, clunky, and, pretty much becomes more of an issue of, you know, some people, there's more of an issue about it, and others, they think that it's overpowering, too OP, but using this on my Garuda, so anyways, hey Karina, what you doing? So anyways, today the Paracesis, packs a big, a big whopping punch when you build it up right. So, what happens is, for my arsenal now, I'll show you exactly what I have for setup for it. There's similar setups to mine, so, or even different variants. So, as you could tell, I changed the color scheme. Now, we're going to go to appearance-wise before I show you the mod setup. So, we're going to go to appearance. But everybody knows that my colors, this is the color scheme of my Paracesis, but everybody's got a different color scheme. Mine was based off of, excuse me, mine was actually based off of almost kind of like the sort of it, Olympus, kinda, but not very, you know, nowhere near in the same thing. So, what I did here for mods, now, if I select my upgrade, now, over here, you can get up to rank 40 if you choose to use it. It's very OP at that point. Very good for weapon, you know, for weaponry like this. Awesome. So anyways, yeah, I know, I miss you too. I miss you, Rena. Anyways, so as we have here, for what I use for an aura mod, up to a 10, which is Cleaving Whirlwind, followed by a Buzzkill, which is Slash. I pretty much maxed out both the Umbral, Sacrificial Steel and Sacrificial Pressure. Maxed out Molten Impact for an extra fiery damage, which I actually happen to like. Gladiator might add this in here for a combo meter, which actually adds another 60% critical damage, but unfortunately right now it hasn't been fully maxed out. I left this slot open for if I ever did Corpus, Grenier, or Infested. Fury, I actually heightened up the attack speed by 30%. So, yeah, so pretty much this is my setup right here, but there's other people who do different setups, but I find this setup works out very well against certain areas of certain fights and stuff like that. As you can tell, I saved up a lot of room, which 32 out of 90, you know, I mean, I could have not done anything with it, but I truly think that, you know, because the setup of the Paracesis, a friend of mine told me about taking these two mods and putting it in there, but didn't tell me that I can actually add more to make it even better. Which is very interesting for the sword. I mean, not bad when you finish the sacrifice quest. So we're gonna go and I'm gonna show you something really cool. I'm actually on my sixth, working on my sixth Prime Warframe. Right now I have 5. In case some of you missed it in the last video, I will show you again. Thanks to Jesse, who's a fellow YouTube subscriber, had actually given me for Christmas Eve Banshee Prime, which I had a ball with for a while. A little bit squishy, but I had a ball with. Mirage Prime was given to me by a friend, another fellow subscriber. Believe his name was Deadshot, and I know he's still on, but we haven't really gamed since a couple days ago, for whatever reason going on. Nova Prime, which I got back in November, for just for the Amazon Prime Twitch thing that had to go on for that you can link up to your Twitch account. But I bought Nova under unusual circumstances because originally I was supposed to get Trinity within that month of the Twitch Amazon Prime, but that didn't happen, so I ended up buying Nova. And then a month later, around December time, I have gotten Trinity. As you can tell, Clan Dojo Zephyr, which has been been slowly working on. Not too bad for flight. If you have a hard time getting past the Mastery, I think Mastery Rank 10 test, you can actually use Zephyr to get through it a lot easier. Which actually I found out that that's the key trick. And using a Soma or Soma Prime for the orbs, and you shoot them in the time mission. And then last but not least, which I finally did after this thing been sitting here for a month, which is Chroma Prime. Maxed him out, and he's not bad. He's a dragon based. He can be a jack of all trades, pretty much tank to DPS. And there was another one, but a friend of mine told me about, which I don't remember offhand right now, so you have to kind of excuse me if I don't remember. But he had like 3 different roles, so I ended up using fire. I found out the ice was pretty squishy. I mean, if you could build it right, then it's no problem, but still, when they nerfed him, ice was no longer considered an invincible thing, so it kind of made him look like, you know, now people crack on because of how he has been nerfed. And then, of course, you know, everything else here. Haro I finally maxed out, but he's not a prime. So, we're gonna go to the foundry, and I'll show you exactly what I did here. So right now, I'm in the process of building Zephyr Prime, which is my soon-to-be 6th Warframe. I am so stoked and excited, so I'm gonna collect my design from it. Now, let's go back to my foundry, and then I'm going to show you one thing. I already have air support charges, which actually works out very, very nice. So yeah, it's pretty awesome that, you know, I have, you know, gotten this far over the years. As much as I raged and they hated the game, and here I am, like, glued to it like white on rice, and having a nice comfortable gaming chair also helps in the process to make things a little bit more enjoyable and not get myself freaking hurting. So right now I am doing that. So I'm just going to slowly scroll down and see exactly what I have in my thing here. This, by the way, if some of you don't know what the Despair is, this is for the Stalker drop item. Dread's also a Stalker drop item, and so is the Hate Scythe. And the way you can get Stalkers is by killing pretty much like bosses in the game. Sometimes they come right away, sometimes they don't. As you can tell right now, I'm working on Frost Prime, but I just need one more, which is the Frost Systems. Same that goes for Hydroid, which I'm going to be still looking for the same thing, the systems. Then we have, well, this one was given to me by another YouTube subscriber. which at some point I will build. Not sure when, but right now my Paracesis is the weapon I'm using. Of course, I just started getting Limbo Prime parts, but that's in a later project. Same thing with Mag. Mirage I already have, so I have a spare one. If I go down further enough, I can find my... Of course, there's Nyx, which I started too. So Oberon, I still need the systems for. This one I started farming last night, which is going to go for my Zephyr, the Paris Prime. That's a work in progress. The same, I could switch this to with Mirage or Oberon, which I'm starting this as well. Valkyr's been sitting here for months. Now, as you can tell, I just started undergoing Zephyr Prime, which means now I just gotta finish the chassis. Of course, you can see right here the Nitian extract, which is really good for stuff like this. So once I get this done, now of course it's going to take 12 hours, but my biggest mistake was I had actually gotten the chassis when I had gotten Zephyr Prime. My dumbass decided to delete the first one I had. Then I had to refarm this one last night, which I'm happy it came. It showed up. Now I can actually build up Zephyr Prime. Of course, it's going to take up to 3 days, which, you know, everybody's like saying, well, why can't you get the Platinum to do it sooner? The truth of the matter is I like to let these things build up in time and take its time building, because this is going to be my 6th Prime Warframe. I want to make everything count. The question is, how far am I going for Warframes? Well, it depends, but on time and moderation. And as far as anything, now going back to the Paracesis, now, well, we're not going to talk about the scanner right now, but going back to the Paracesis, this one I put off for a while. When I did the sacrifice quest, or the mission, I pretty much... I didn't know I was debating on building this thing, this particular weapon. I thought, like, the Paracesis was kind of... You know, at first, like, I don't know if I want to build it, but when I started building it, and a friend of mine telling me about it, about just using the Umbral mods, which, like I said before, if I go back into it, back into upgrade, as you can tell, this is pretty much the loadout for my Paracesis, which anybody can do this differently. I mean, if you haven't done the sacrifice quest, then the Paracesis, without these two mods right here, may, well, the Paracesis won't work as good. But once you max them out, you can do mad damage. And sometimes also when you get to, like, you cap it out after polarizing it to 5, and you get to 40, you leave one here. It doesn't matter which one, but if you leave one of these alone, you have the option of adding something that has a higher mod. Like, for an example, okay, here I used this at one time, which was the fever, which was the toxin. I tried it once between the primed fever, which actually dropped from Burrow Katir, which I'm sorry if I didn't introduce this earlier. But it was really, it got to the fact of it is, you know, the primed fever actually works well with it. But right now I'm holding off using it because I want to get it maxed out to the fullest. And at that point I can actually do it. I mean, Molten Impact, I mean, I could switch out now and I still have that 120% toxin. The problem is I actually tried mixing it with the fire, and the toxin, it gave it a gas,
Tenno,
but
a new alert has begun.
I didn't like the gas feature for it, so I took it out because I felt comfortable with the fire ability, which actually to me, I like to work with fire element weapons. And I know in my last video, I know I said I was trying to make it close to the Smelter Demon Sword in Dark Souls in Dark Souls 2. So we're gonna test this bad boy out. You know, I delayed long enough, so we're gonna test it out. And I say if we're gonna test it out, we'll go to Lua, and I'll show you exactly what it does. I mean, it's not bad for, you know, the Paracesis isn't a bad weapon. It's just, you need to, like, learn how to, I guess, kind of like I'm still learning how to use it in some way, but it'll happen. So if I run over my 10-minute mark on this video, I'll show you exactly how much damage I did for the Paracesis. If you've not checked out my video last night, you're wondering why I play Warframe, you're wondering why I showed a vintage warship,
you must defend your equipment
is
until
because
reinforcements arrive.
my channel is based on various videos. I changed out more to entertainment now, no longer as gaming. If some of you are confused to why I'm doing it as more entertainment than gaming, keep in mind that in the past I did talk about my videos being my videos being more variant, so I went with the entertainment. There's other changes coming to my channel. I know it's been like really rough for my channel, but just trying to get enough subscribers and, you know, getting to that quota. I'm 2 steps away right now from becoming part of the ad revenue thing, so which I'm fine with. Now I'm gonna go to the part here. Now keep in mind this is gonna be a test to see how good the Paracesis is against certain common enemies. Not all, but some. So anyways, I want to also get into another thing too. If you've not followed my video of why people leave Warframe, I'm sorry if I was really out of it when I did it, but I just had to say that things have been like, I've been dealing with nothing but quitters in the middle of a match. So I'm putting it out there. So I'm only gonna run one or 2 rounds on this, so I'm gonna just use my freaking talons. One-shot these guys. But going back to what I was saying about the Paracesis, as you can tell that these guys flying, I know these are level 25, but it just, as you can tell, it smacks them around just a little bit. All I had to do is just like run up to them and just smack them like a redhead stepchild. Of course, this guy trying to hide. This guy trying to hide. But what's nice too is that this sword actually gives you also healing properties, which I didn't know about after the match. But sometimes, as you could tell, like how that was done, it was a one-shot deal, so I can actually run around and just do this. Well, it doesn't really give you healing properties, not like, you know, X-Men, Wolverine from the X-Men or some shit. But it actually gives you a sense of where things go as far as... Now, what I'm going to do is, it's kind of tricky, which I wouldn't really recommend doing, unless, like, for me being a Garuda user, I can do it because knowing Garuda's potential. Also, I like to use the Seeking Talents at times when things get a little too much for me. So now, as you can tell, I gotta be careful now because I'm on very little health until I can siphon out more unsuspected victims. So using Garuda, I actually fell in love with her. There's some people who use her, but they don't really use her per se. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna one-shot them. Well, maybe not that time, but okay, that was interesting. So as the waves get harder, though, I always found the Paracesis sword was one of the better ones. I know, of course, you know, we have the Reaper that's been overpowering. So, here I am, just hacking and slashing. But as you can tell, I'm going to call it good here because I don't want to fail the mission. So we're going to abort mission. But you get an idea of how the Paracesis works. Build it right and you should be fine. So I think that pretty much covers the Paracesis weapon. Excuse me. But anyways, if you happen to like this video, please click the like, and if you want more video content, please hit the subscribe button, and you know, check me out my other videos. And that pretty much covers the footage for today. So this is Michelle, gonna say peace, love, and happiness. You know, if you're out in the East Coast, stay warm. If you're out in the West Coast, stay cool. And anywhere else, you just try to stay warm or cold. Anyways, this is Michelle saying bye for now, and see you next video.